Awareness of one's delusions. Ling Yen's tranquility heightens one's awareness of delusions. Those who come to practice Buddhism at Ling Yen Mountain Temple seem to have a common fear. They say that the purpose of chanting the Buddha's name is to eliminate anxious and delusional thoughts. Yet, when they come to Ling Yen Mountain Temple, the more they chant the name of the Buddha, the more delusional thoughts that they have. However, when they chant at home, they do not have the same experience. Consequently, they wonder whether practicing at home is better than coming to the temple. The purpose of chanting the Buddha's name is to expel delusional thoughts. An old adage says, when the Buddha's name is inserted into an unsettled mind, the unsettled mind cannot but chant the name of the Buddha. If this is true, why aren't we able to suppress these delusional thoughts when we chant the name of the Buddha? Why do we sometimes feel that the more we chant, the more we suffer? What can we do? It is not a question of what you can or cannot do. These unnecessary fears arise and lead to unwarranted vexations only because you do not understand certain principles of Buddhism. You feel more at ease when you chant the Buddha's name at home because you are still encased in the world of worries. It is analogous to being surrounded by smog that blocks out the sunlight. Under the dark clouds and with poor lighting and thick smog, your eyes cannot see clearly. Our eyes need certain conditions, such as space and light, in order to see. Without sufficient lighting, sight is not possible. For instance, in our home, not a single corner is truly dust-free. You might say, "No, my house is very clean. It is spotless." But when you look closer, you can see that dust alights on every surface, even after you have cleaned it. You simply cannot get rid of it completely. Furthermore, with so many things to do around the house, how can you be aware of the existence of delusions and vexations? You just don't have time to take notice. So why do you feel more at ease when chanting the Buddha's name at home? It is because you are already within the folds of delusion. Really, how could there be no delusions in the comfort of your home? And yet, why do you seem to have more delusional thoughts when you practice Buddhism at Ling Yen Mountain Temple? At the temple, upon entering the recitation hall, you instantly calm and purify your mind. When you temporarily leave behind your worldly affairs, you have fewer and fewer vexations in your mind as it returns to its innate nature. Analogously, when all the great noise and commotion stop, even a faint sound can be heard. Similarly, sentient beings are oblivious to the smaller things because they are surrounded by louder vexations. This is the reason why you seem to have more delusional thoughts when you come to Ling Yen Mountain Temple. As you unfold your wisdom, you start to notice more of your everyday delusions. When you come to the temple and chant the Buddha's name, you shine light upon yourself and heighten your awareness. Our eyes certainly need light to see, but they also need adequate space. For instance, if you put your hands close to your eyes, you limit your visibility. If you bring your hands close enough, you cannot even discern the lines on your palms. You need space in order to see. The more space you have, the further you can see. At home, you do not notice your delusional thoughts because of your reduced awareness. Likewise, you cannot see clearly when low-light conditions limit your visibility. You become more aware of your delusional thoughts at the temple because as you clear the dark clouds in your mind, the clear skies will enable you to see with more clarity what is in your mind. Leave the delusions aside and discipline the body first. Chant the name of the Buddha with a sincere mind. Do not be afraid of delusional thoughts, because even if you try to eliminate them, you cannot succeed. When the right time comes, the delusions will disappear without any conscious effort. It is not something you can force upon yourself. Haste will only make it worse. Even if you have many delusional thoughts, you should not believe that you must cast them away completely. Your fear of delusions will only give rise to more. Simply leave them alone and, more importantly, do not follow or chase after them, for they will lead you astray. This is an important point to remember. If thoughts of anger and hatred arise and your mind is preoccupied with thoughts of seeking revenge on those who have wronged you, you must exercise self-restraint. Restrain yourself similarly if greed comes to the forefront of your mind, and do not indulge in thoughts of the 5 desires: wealth, lust, fame, food, and sleep. Thus, the first thing that the Buddhist disciples and those who chant the name of the Buddha must do is observe the 5 precepts. No matter how much greed, anger, and ignorance you have in your mind, you must absolutely never kill, steal, or commit sexual misconduct. If you commit these acts, you will sow the karmic seeds of the 3 lower realms. Simply thinking about committing offenses also bears karmic consequences. However, the mind of a layperson is different from that of a bodhisattva. This is a crucial distinction that you need to understand. Otherwise, you will needlessly inflict additional vexations upon yourself. Let's explain using an analogy. Can you forbid a monkey to move or a horse to gallop just by giving it orders? It is impossible. Your mind is like a monkey, and your thoughts are like a horse. It is impossible for a mind to be perfectly still. The only thing you can do is tether the monkey and the horse. Let them move around as long as they do not roam into other people's fields and steal grain and fruit. How could you be able to make them stand still? It is impossible. When delusional thoughts arise in our minds, the minds of lay people, we should not try to eliminate them. You cannot stop every one of them. However, you must discipline your body and your mouth and prevent them from breaking the precepts. If you can hold your ground and restrain yourself, you are indeed cultivating and practicing Buddhism. Over time, your practice of forbearance will bear fruit, the fruit of concentration and calm. Observing the precepts gives rise to concentration and calm, which will, in turn, unfold wisdom. On the other hand, if you do not observe the precepts and instead indulge your body in immoral pleasures and use your mouth to slander and eat without restraint, then you are letting the monkey and the horse in your mind run wild and accumulate much negative karma. We are lay people at the moment. If we want to be reborn in the Western Pure Land, chanting the Buddha's name is a path that will assuredly take us there. Yet, why is it that not all people who chant the Buddha's name can achieve rebirth in the Western Pure Land? This is because some of them do not observe the precepts. Those who follow the precepts and chant the Buddha's name will, without a doubt, succeed in attaining this rebirth. You must understand the cause and effect behind these principles. Follow this path, and you will enjoy boundless blessings and wisdom. With the Buddha in your mind, do not be afraid of delusions. No matter how vivid and strong your delusional thoughts are, do not forget to chant the name of the Buddha. Having the Buddha in your mind is akin to being in broad daylight. Evil spirits dare not approach you. On the other hand, forgetting the Buddha whenever delusions arise is akin to being in the darkness of night, when people are more likely to commit offenses. Therefore, remember to chant the Buddha's name often. With the Buddha in your mind, even if you have delusional thoughts, you will not act on them. Wicked thoughts are like poison, and the Buddha's name the antidote. Poison can kill, but if the antidote is contained within, the poison will not take effect. Likewise, in order to eliminate delusions, one must chant the name of the Buddha. It is impossible to completely settle your mind when you first start practicing. A truly calm, concentrated mind comes with time and hard work. All things work in the same way. Seeds sown today will not bear fruit tomorrow. It takes time for fruit to ripen. After planting the seeds, you need to water them, nourish them, and protect them from pests and extreme heat and cold. Everything in this world takes time to develop and blossom. You will reap the rewards when the time is right. Similarly, your Buddhist practice also takes time. In order to fully understand the law of cause and effect, one must realize that the magnitude of the cause determines the magnitude of the effect. For instance, you cannot extinguish a burning cart with a glass of water. It is true that water can put out fire, but a glass of water is insufficient to extinguish an entire burning cart. To put out that fire, you would need a truckload of water. Chanting the name of the Buddha can assuredly eliminate delusions. Yet, because you only just started this practice, you have not yet reached a high level of proficiency. You will not be able to drive out all delusions. When you become more proficient at chanting the Buddha's name, calm will come naturally. It is similar to when a purifying agent is placed into filthy water. The filthy water cannot but become clean. When the Buddha's name is inserted into an unsettled mind, the unsettled mind cannot but chant the name of the Buddha. The moment you chant is the moment you manifest your Buddha nature. This principle is also governed by the law of cause and effect. After making good causes, you will still have to wait for the right time before the effects will appear. The Buddha Dharma follows the law of causation and the principle of dependent origination, but one must also wait for the right time. No one is above these principles. If you understand these principles, you will have fewer delusional thoughts. Everyone, please chant the Buddha's name earnestly. Chant the name of the Buddha and attain Buddhahood.